Mama used to love to reminisce. She'd sit out on the porch on nights like this. She'd tell me about her favorite things in life, like honeysuckle, rain, and fireflies. Out on that old porch swing, I learned everything. How to laugh, how to love, and who I am and who's up above, everything in between. Out on that old porch swing. Summertime and Friday night, my daddy's guitar, couple cooks, and all the guys. The hours pass like cars through midnight air. The first tunes that I ever played were there. Out on that old porch swing, I played some Bogart Brooks, a little Hank, and everything in between. Out on that old porch swing, and my mind would just go rocking back and forth to the memories I made on my front porch. First time that I looked into her eyes, she was close enough to press her lips to mine. We were swinging through the night hand in hand. That's where the best chapter in my life began. Out on that old porch swing, I had what I'd wanted and what I'd missed, everything in between. Out on that old, and I love that old, and I miss that old porch swing.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. You're listening to Coffee and Conversation with your dude, your number one guy, J-Man, on Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all the other platforms that we're on, even Alexa. That's right, Alexa can make it do what it do. I hope you all had a great weekend. It was an amazing weekend for me. I was able to take care of the little one all weekend and enjoy him, and we did. He won that battle. I'll just be honest with you. Little Sammy won that battle. I slept real good last night. My body said go to sleep. So shout out to little Sammy. Shout out to those that's over here on Facebook Live. What's up, Mark Taylor Made Taylor? Yogi, what's going on with you? Shout out to those that are on Spreaker. Yogi, what's going on with you? Dr. Tony, what's going on? Nurse Rachel, what's going on? I was getting ready to call my own name. How about that? I hope everyone had a great night's rest. Man, in the, I don't know about everywhere else in Georgia, but in the ATL, we had a serious storm last night. Man, it was a serious storm. Lightning, I believe we lost power for a few minutes. I woke up and some things were blinking, so we must have lost power somewhere along the way. However, everything is up and running and we're good to go. And I was concerned today because I have some errands I need to run, And I was like, oh, I didn't want to be in the weather, in the rain and thunder and lightning. Just before I went out, got on the air, I walked outside, and man, the clouds are gone. There's a little bit of fog out, and you can see the sun. You can see the sun. Man, that's good stuff. What's going on, my warriors out there at Emory Winship Cancer Center, out there fighting the good fight? My warriors, you know what? I look up to you all. I believe that you all are some of the greatest and strongest people I know. I understand that this is not a position that you all wanted to be in, but look, you are proving to the world what it means to fight. And I personally want to say thank you for doing the good fight and fighting the way you need to. Keep your mind straight, keep your energy up, make sure you keep positive energy around you, and make sure that you understand this concept. You got this. My brother says it all the time, and when he does his motivational thing, he always ends with, and remember, you got this. So to this morning, I'm just going to start off by telling you all, you got this. The song that I played earlier is a tone. His name is Tony Jackson. His name is Tony Jackson, and the name of the song is Old Porch. Old Porch Swing. I'm sorry, Old Porch Swing. Really love that song. Those that know me, I'm a little bit of country. I'm a little bit of hip hop. I'm a little bit of R&B. I'm a little bit of bebop. I just love music. I love jazz. I love vocal jazz. So I listen to some of everything. And that was a nice, beautiful country song by Tony Jackson, Old Porch Swing. And what he did was he basically went down memory lane. He went down memory lane, and he remembered some things in life that he went through. Some were good. Some were bad. But one of the things that he realized, it made him who he was, who he is. Many of us are probably the same way. Many times we find our places. I know I am. I find myself reminiscing about my past. Some of the good things that I've achieved. And I'm able to draw good energy. As a matter of fact, that's one of my meditation moves, I guess you can say. I find a place where I was the happiest, and that made me happy, things that made me happy, and I kind of focused my mind on that event that made me happy, and it brings that energy back into my life. But then there are things that sadden us. There are things where mishaps has happened to us, and there are things that we made mistakes on, or we made bad choices or bad decisions on, and it doesn't feel as good as the good memories. But what it does is it reminds you that you have grown, that you should have grown. You should have gone from one level of life to another level of life. You have grown from immaturity to maturity. There's a space and time that we have to deal with. And there's the phrase that I was looking for. Deal with. Deal with. There were times, and are times, where I found out that there were things in my life that I did not deal with. I personally did not deal with. Whether it was something I was sitting around and a memory came up and the hatred all over again came up in my body and in my mind. Or maybe perhaps it was one of my many counseling sessions when I go see the counselors. And as I think about times of sitting on the couch or sitting in the chair, and my counselor reminds me of a place or convinces me to go back to a place that I did not want to deal with. This morning, I simply want us to get to a place or find ourselves in a place where we are willing to deal with it. I don't know what your it is. I don't know what your it is. However, I understand that we have to learn to deal with it. One of my favorite people in the world, his name is Father Carl, Catholic priest. I used to be his RP. I used to be his assistant in the military. He was a chaplain, and I was most people call it chaplain assistant, but it's really called religious program specialist. He told me something one time that changed my life, and I remember it, and I try my best to use it all the time. I try to apply it to everything. He told me one day, he said, handle the paper one time. That was his phrase. Handle the paper one time. When he would hand me something, his expectation of me was to follow the process of whatever piece of paper he handed me, whatever assignment that he gave me. He wanted me to handle that assignment one time, all the way to the finish. When I put that piece of paper down, I should be done with it. Because what happens is, a lot of times what we do is we take that piece of paper and we start off a program or start off on the process, and then something else grabs our attention, and something else grabs our attention, and something else grabs our attention, and sometimes we find that piece of paper at the bottom. His instruction to me was life-changing. Handle that piece of paper one time. Life is going to present itself to us in many different facets, and many different scenarios, and many different situations are going to come our way, and then we are going to find out I lost the piece of paper, or I'll put it a better way, I buried the piece of paper. Instead of dealing with the situation, whatever your situation is, whatever your past allowed you to have in life, in order to unclutter, I was watching Hoarders this weekend, in order to unclutter our memories and our lives and the way we think and the way we do things, in order to make room for new, how about going back and declutter things that you did not handle, things that you did not process, things that you did not deal with? How about going back through it all and reevaluating what was not done? You're listening to Coffee and Conversation. I'll be right back.
I see us in the park, strolling the summer days of imagining in my head, and words from a heart told only to the wind, felt even without being said. I don't wanna bore you with my trouble. something about your love that makes me weak and knocks me off my feet. There's something about your love that makes me weak and knocks me off my feet. It knocks me off my feet. I don't wanna bore you with it. Oh girl, I love you, I love you, I love you. I don't wanna bore you with it. Oh girl, I love you, I love you, I love you more and more. We lay beneath the stars under a lover's tree that seems through the eyes of my mind. I'll reach out for the part of me that lives in you that only two hearts can find. I don't wanna bore you with my trouble, but there's something about your love that makes me weak and knocks me off my feet. There's something about your love that makes me weak and knocks me off my feet. It knocks me off my feet. I don't wanna bore you with it. Oh girl, I love you, I love you, I love you. I don't wanna bore you with it. Oh girl, I love you, I love you, I love you. I don't wanna bore you with it. Oh girl, I love you, I love you, I love you. I don't wanna bore you with it. Oh girl, I love you.
You're listening to Coffee and Conversation with your boy J-Man on Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all the other platforms that we're on. Even Alexa can make it do what it do. Y'all forgive me for that abrupt interruption. I had to readjust some things within myself. And I was where I left off was my chaplain called Father called Padre. I call him Padre. Padre told me, he said, look, when you handle that piece of paper, handle it once. And I took that and I applied it to my life. I tried, let me put it that way. I tried to apply it to my life. And I tried to deal, and I am learning even more now that there are things that I'm going to have to go back and deal with it. Many of us are like that. Many of us are in a place where we're going to have to go back and deal with some things that we didn't deal with when it happened. Whether we purposely buried it under the rug, or whether life happened and you had to be mama, you had to be daddy, you had to be the employee, you had to be the minister, you had to do this, you had to do that. And we, instead of dealing with that moment in time, we found ourselves burying it and not knowing that it was buried until it one day sneaks up on us. One day it just sneaks up on us, and the next thing you know, it's in front of us. That's why I always tell people, one of your best, yes, we love our pastors. Yes, we love our pastors. Yes, we love God, and yes, we love our best friends. But God has ordained a position called psychologist and psychiatrist for a reason. That gift and that talent and that ability God has placed on this earth for a reason. And sometimes we need to rush to a counseling session. We need to rush to see a psychologist and a psychiatrist. It's not that anything is it's going to make you feel crazy or anything, but sometimes we just need to learn how to deal with things, especially when you have to go back and deal with things. It's one thing that when something pop up in your life now, because of maturity, you learn to go ahead and try to handle that and deal with it. But reality has proven that there are things that's hidden in our minds, and we're trying to figure out, why am I like this? Why do I do this? Why am I like this? Why do I have so much negative energy in me? Sometimes we just need to go and talk to someone. I know, we meet people along the way in life, and and we look at them like, what's wrong with them? They always mad. They always sad. They this. They always that. They always got this negative. They're dealing with things that they're not dealing with. There it is. That's a good way to put it. A lot of us are dealing with things that we're not dealing with. And until we deal with those things, we will find ourselves in the same position. But when we finally deal with them, we make room for better. We make room for a healthier body. We make room for a healthier mind. We make room for a healthier life because we're dealing with it. We dealt with it. We didn't just let it fly by, or we did not just let it exist, or we did not just let it stay at the bottom of the pile and we deal with everything else. But that piece of paper on the bottom is the very thing that's messing up every other thing in our lives. Deal with it. Learn to go back and deal with it. There are times where we get a Clarion call, or that we get a warning call. That's what I call it, a warning. That we've been asking the Creator. You've been asking, you've been praying, or however you meditate or whatever, and your question to the universe, or your question to God, or your question to the Creator. What is it that keeps holding me back? What is it that makes me do this? What is it? I feel empty, I feel like something is wrong, and maybe this is your answer. Maybe this is the answer, that there's some space in our emotions. There's some space in our memory. There's some space in our hearts and in our minds that is being taken up unpurposely. I don't know if that's how I want to say it, but in other words, it's clouding. It's clouding up space, or taking up space in our hearts and in our minds and in our feelings, and in our emotions. And we don't even know what it is. Maybe now is the time to, I've been fighting sin, not going to a counselor or a psychiatrist. Maybe now is the time. Maybe you do need to start with just going to your pastor. Maybe that is a good start. Maybe you do need to open up to your doctor and your nurse a little bit better. Maybe you do need to find, a friend that is a good confidant, and just simply open up. Maybe you do need to open up. There's no greater feeling than getting rid of things that don't belong in your life. I'll say that again. There's no greater feeling than getting to a place where you've gotten rid of things that does not belong in your life anymore. And because you dealt with it, you're able to box it up, just like on the TV show Hoarders. They walked around this packed environment of unessential things as if it wasn't there. If those things, it's normal. Many of us are emotional hoarders. And we're walking around in our minds and in our feelings and in our emotions. And we're walking around with all of this stuff around us. And we are acting as if it's normal. But just like in Hoarders, when you do things like that, you cause other problems. Yes, you literally become sick. Mold get in the house. This happens. Rodents and this and that and all kinds of things just happening. And you all because you are hoarding things that don't need to be in your house. And as we emotionally hoard things, we mentally get sick. We physically get sick. Find it, deal with it, and let it go. Find it, find that piece of paper, deal with what's on that piece of paper, and then ball it up and get rid of it. This is a good place. We're at the beginning of this year. Any time is a good time, but in the natural atmosphere of things, we're at the beginning of the year. Now it's a great time to start new. Now it's a great time to say, you know what? I'm going to deal with this thing. I'm going to have a better physical life. I'm going to have a better mental life. I'm going to be in a better emotional place because I am going to deal with it. I guarantee that once you are finished, once you're finished with dealing with it, you will feel lighter. You will feel much, much lighter. Just deal with it, no matter what it takes. Yes, it's not like you're going to pick up that piece of paper and say, oh yeah, this happened to me. I forget that person and ball it up and throw it in the trash. No, it's not going to go down that way. You're literally going to have to go through some emotions. You may have to cry a little. You may have to bang your fist on the desk. You may just be in but you're dealing with it. And once you have processed the entire thing, I guarantee you, your day will be better. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me this morning. I will see you all I'll see you all Thursday. I'll see you all Thursday on Coffee and Conversation. Until then, make today a great day and make sure you do it on purpose. I'll see you all later.
Ups and downs. Ups and downs.
Wait a minute.
We've been together, seem like forever, and I wanna spend another lifetime, 'cause it don't get much better, don't care about the weather. Oh, as long as I'm with you, I'm safe and warm. I'm happy that I'll spend the rest of my life with you. It ain't been easy, but we make it through all the ups and downs. It ain't been perfect, but we're bold right now. And I love you more after all the ups and downs. Life ain't perfect, but we're bold right now. And I love you more after everyone.
baby. Just wrap your arms around me, baby. Hold on tight like the first time I met you. Oh, since that day, been right beside you. You showed me, baby, you a rider. So honey, I'ma ride into the sunset with you. Oh, and I'll spend the rest of my life with you. It ain't been easy, but we'll make it through all the ups and downs. It ain't been perfect, but we're both here right now. And I love you more after other ups and downs. Life ain't perfect, but we're both here right now. And I love you more after everyone. We got a love that can conquer anything.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. You are the melody that makes my heart sing. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
I mean every word, that's why you rock my last name.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I swear that I love you.
It ain't been easy, but we make it through all the ups and downs. It ain't been perfect, but we're both
Here right now.
and I love you more after other.
All of the hours.
Life ain't perfect, but we're both
That's why I love
and I love you more after everyone. Hey, and I love you